Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by Wager Talk. I am your host Tom Downey, back again with some more Cowboys rumors and news here. So we'll start things off with some contract talk. It's kind of the main thing right now for the Cowboys in between the offseason kind of and preseason. So first up, is there no timeline for a new deal for Ezekiel Elliott? I'm going to give this one 4 stars. That's what Stephen Jones says, and yeah, I kind of believe him. And compared to guys like Amari Cooper or Dak Prescott, there really isn't one. Now, to be fair, at some level, yes, there is a timeline. It comes, later in March 2020 when Zeke officially becomes an NFL free agent. But so far, the Cowboys haven't done a ton of work on a Zeke contract extension. And Elliott is definitely a priority, but he's not the top one. And that's because Zeke's under contract for 2 more years. Robert Quinn, more importantly, Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, Byron Jones, plus Leo Collins, and a whole batch of other players aren't under contract through that 2020 season. All these guys hit free agency after this season ends. So no one is ever going to dispute that Zeke isn't super critical to this Cowboys roster. That's why he carried the ball over 300 times last year. As Stephen Jones put it, he's the straw that stirs the drink. I think that's a decent enough analogy there. And Zeke is the focal point of the ground game and was heavily involved in the passing game as well. So there's no doubt that the Cowboys should definitely extend Zeke Elliott if the money's right and all that, and he remains healthy. But the real question is, who should the Cowboys extend first? Let me know in the comments section. Type A for Amari, type D for Dak, and Z, of course, for Zeke. There really isn't a wrong answer there per se, but there are better answers. I think Amari and Dak make a lot more sense because their contract's going to be up soon. Now, yes, you want to extend everyone earlier because it saves you money in the long run. But from the Cowboys' perspective, if you wait on Amari, well, then it's the open market. That's not what you want if you're the Cowboys. Same too with Dak Prescott. So Zeke is a priority. He's just not the priority right now for the Cowboys, and that's the way it should be. More Cowboys rumors. How about a Randy Gregory return? We're back with this one again. I'll give it 2 stars once again. And it kind of does border, I think, a little bit on the 3 stars side of things. The Cowboys still aren't sure just how long Gregory is going to be suspended by the NFL because they just don't know. They can't communicate that much with Randy Gregory, but Stephen Jones does say he's heard that Gregory's in a good place, and the Cowboys do remain hopeful that Gregory will be back and able to contribute. But the number one thing they can't do is assume he'll be back, because you guys know what happens when you assume. Can't say it on air, but you guys know. And the Cowboys have built their defensive end depth chart around the assumption that he won't be back. That's what you can do if you're the Cowboys. You got DeMarcus Lawrence, you have Quinn, Tyrone Crawford's there as well. We'll see about Gregory, and then it's a battle. I mean, those 3 guys are all going to play key roles too. Crawford some on the interior as well. But Taco Charlton, Dorrance Armstrong, Joe Jackson, Kerry Hyder, Jalen Jelks, they'll all fight for a role. But in an ideal world, yes, Randy Gregory is able to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, that is not set in stone right now. The hope is that the NFL finally learns to relax a little bit on the weed side of things, which they definitely should. And if that's the case, maybe you do see Gregory come back in 2019. And if so, that'd be a big boost to a Cowboys defense that could always use more pass rush help. All right, folks, today's show brought to you guys by Wager Talk. Head over to wagertalk.com/chatsports to get a free daily pick package. It is only available at that site, wagertalk.com/chatsports. That's the key thing right there. They'll give you a free daily pick package from their experts. We know how many of you guys sign up with BetDSI, so increase your earnings there. wagertalk.com. They'll give you that free daily pick package, but you got to go to wagertalk.com/chatsports. The URL right there at the bottom of your screen. More Cowboys rumors here. How about a Kyle Rudolph trade? And I'll give this one just the 1 star. I'm not so sure this one's actually going to go down. At some level, it does make some sense, and in Madden, I like the idea. Look, the Vikings could try to trade away Kyle Rudolph because he's set to make $7.6 million and some change in the last year of his deal, but I don't know how much interest the Cowboys would actually have in him. They have Jason Witten, they have Blake Jarwin, they have Dalton Schultz. I know it's an average at best rotation, but do you want to be paying Jason Witten $4+ million and Rudolph $7+ million with both those guys in the last years of your deal? If you do, you're probably going to want to extend Kyle Rudolph, and that might cut into your ability to re-sign someone like a Malik Collins, for example, or somebody else that's not a true elite starter, but a good contributor there. So I'm intrigued by it. If it's Madden, yeah, sign me up because I can make the money work way easier in Madden than I can in real life. But from a money perspective, I just don't know if it works right now for the Cowboys, even though he would be an upgrade over the Cowboys' current tight end group. So should the Cowboys trade for Kyle Rudolph? Let me know in the comments section. T for trade or P for pass on it. Again, I'm not knocking Rudolph. He's a good player, good tight end. I just don't know if it makes the most sense right now for the way the Cowboys roster is currently constructed. Even though, yes, you would like some more tight end help overall, I just don't know if the timing is quite right for the Cowboys. Speaking of timing and Cowboys tight ends, how about Jason Witten playing in 2020? I'll give this one 2 stars. I think Witten's very much on board / open to it, but I'm also kind of like, let's see how things go this year. Remember, Witten is only under contract for this upcoming season. Now, his comments recently have been out multiple championships, and he said he wanted to play till 40 before he retired the first time, so he's certainly open to it. But let's not forget, Jason Witten is set to turn 37. He actually turns 37 tomorrow on Monday, so happy early birthday, Jason. And he didn't play last year. So let's see how Jason Witten looks in 2019. If he's still playing 50 snaps a game and still playing at least an average level, okay, sure, maybe you can make that work. But at a certain point, you don't want Witten to become a progress stopper either for Blake Jarwin and for Dalton Schultz. So I am open to the idea of Witten playing in 2020, but I'm only giving it 2 stars because I want to see how it goes. I want to see how Witten looks after being away from actual football practices, pads, workouts, all that stuff for about a year. I want to see how he looks. So I ask you, how many more years will Jason Witten play in the NFL? I assume he's only going to play for the Dallas Cowboys there. So again, let me know in the comment section. How many more years does Witten have left? I'll put the over-under. I don't know where to put the over-under. Is it 2.5? Is it 2? I'll put it at 2, knowing I think there's going to be a lot of pushes there. He's old for any NFL player, especially a tight end. He's certainly a surefire first-ballot Hall of Famer. But at a certain point, for everybody, even Frank Gore and Tom Brady, the body does just eventually fail you. All right, more Cowboys rumors. This one almost kind of the news side of it. Is Dallas not done making moves yet? Well, you guys know this one too. 4 stars on this one. Of course, they're not done making moves yet. Dallas will still make some moves. It might not be the big flashy ones, but for example, they just cut Dustin Stanton on Friday. Now that does clear up a roster spot to add somebody. I don't know who the somebody is. Maybe you go get some safety help. Maybe you want another camp arm. You have 3. They used 4 last year, although Dalton Stern barely played, so maybe you just stick with 3 there. Maybe you go get a kicker to push Brett Maher. I think that's a pretty good idea. Maybe you just want some more flexibility, and maybe you just had zero faith in Dustin Stanton. Either way, the Cowboys are not going to be done making moves yet. Now, I will be on my honeymoon next week, so you can guarantee the Cowboys do something during then. Probably something really big and important, because when I'm out of town or out of the office, the Cowboys always find a way to make a big move or big news item. All right, one last Cowboys rumor here for you guys on the Cowboys Report presented by Wager Talk. Are the Cowboys a top 10 defense? Well, of course they are. 4 stars on this one. I think this is a no-brainer, right? The Cowboys were a top 10 defense last year. Yes, they lost Damian Wilson. That's kind of it. This is pretty much the same defense we saw last year. Now, Bleacher Report ranked the Cowboys 8th in the NFL, which, I'll be honest, I thought that was a little bit low. Really. They were 6th in points per game allowed. They were 7th in yards per game allowed. That's top 7 defense, numbers-wise. But Bleacher Report did make a good point. They were only tied for 16th with 20 takeaways. And that is the difference between, at least in my eyes, the Cowboys being a top 10 defense like they are right now and being a top 5 defense. If they want to get to that top 5 level, they need more turnovers. And that means the secondary has to step up. Byron Jones, good lockdown corner for 85% of the year last year. Awuzie had a chance to make some plays, couldn't make them. Anthony Brown, kind of a similar boat. You bring in George Iloka, who could maybe be more of a tight end stopper. And then Xavier Woods, who I think is primed for a big-time breakout year. So for the Cowboys, if you want to make that leap into top 5, because you're already a top 10 defense, it comes from turnovers. The best defense in today's NFL, yeah, maybe they allow some points, but they make plays on the ball and they force turnovers. If you do that on defense, that sets you up for more success on offense, and that's the main goal of everything, right? So I ask you, will the Cowboys be a top 5 defense in 2019? Let me know in the comment section. I kind of think most of you will say yes, and I understand. I don't blame you at all on that one. I think it's very much within the realm of possibility, but let me know in the comment section. Are the Dallas Cowboys going to be a top 5 defense in 2019? I lean towards yes with one big caveat. They're going to have to find a way to force more turnovers than they did in 2018. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.